What in the Temu is this, man? I think sometimes presentation really does matter. And man, when companies send you something for a purpose of review, or even just something you order, like if I ordered this, I'm sure it would have came looking like this as well. Like, you know, it's almost like I'm one of those channels that goes dumpster diving and I found this in the trash. That's exactly the way it freaking looks. But a company off of AliExpress, they actually sent this to me. And my God, okay, first impressions aren't great, but, you know, don't judge a book by its cover type of thing. But we got here this 4K Ultra HD game box, 128 gigabyte. What was this thing called, man? There's some other name to it. I don't remember, but there's a caveat here. It's a choking hazard. You'll choke on this. If you're under 3, there's suffocation dangers here with this emulation device. Straight out of China, made in China. Bootlegged up, you know, Soldier Boy, whatever you want to call it. But here we go. Let's check this out. It's got a professional game chip. That's always great. This sounds familiar. Double rocker control, 3D game, search games. Them some awesome ass features right there. We know this isn't going to be 4K. Get the hell out of here with that noise. But let's get this. I just like took this out of the package. It was just wrapped in like, you know, plastic. I don't know. I don't know why they ship stuff like this, but yeah, here we go. Nice little, this is like those old ass maps. Like, you know, fold out, get from AAA or go to like 7-Eleven, get a map because you're driving cross country. I don't care about all this, but you get these weird controllers. Wow. This feels like a leapfrog controller. Oh, wow. This is cheap feeling. These shoulder buttons. I don't like when shoulder buttons are like, oh, here's your L, your R1 and your R2. Try not to press them both at the same time. Good luck. That sucks. This thing feels like shit. It most likely is shit, but we'll find out. What the hell is a C and a Z button? A, B, X, Y, C, Z. Is this supposed to mimic a, like, you know, hey, if you want to use this like a 6-button Genesis controller, you could use those down there? What the hell is this? Dude, these flat-ass analog sticks, pancake cheek analog sticks. That feels weird, and it looks like every time I move it, it like kind of goes off center a little bit and stays. Wow, okay. What does this take? A couple double A's or triple A's maybe? I don't know. I'm getting all my batteries confused nowadays. Okay, so we get 2 of these shitty controllers. Great. USB-C for charging, dongle. I'm probably for the controllers to sync up. What the hell is this? HDMI? Let's rip this thing out. What you got? Okay, yeah, HDMI. Okay, I was confused for a second. Excuse me. You know, this thing's kind of messing with my brain. Look at this. So it looks like a Game Boy or something, right? It's not a Game Boy. And then there's these little buttons and stuff. Like they're just like little rubber silicone freaking decorations. Like they couldn't be bothered. Here's the thing. This is not, it's just a console. It's a fake, like the screen doesn't do anything. But they couldn't be bothered to fully dress the fake Game Boy. You got to do it yourself. It's a DIY project. We got to put the D-pad in there. And it doesn't like stick. It's just like, you just pop it in there just for looks, but it's still kind of stupid. Like, why couldn't they put this shit in there and like glue it in or something? Like, what is the point of this? Is this supposed to be fun? This is part of the appeal here. It's putting all these little buttons in this thing. The 4K, it even has that little 4K Ultra HD logo, like, you know, embossed in the plastic. That's funny. What is the point of all these little silicone pieces, though? That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Okay. But it does, I mean, it's kind of a neat looking thing. USB ports down there, micro SD card in the side. It is a neat looking console, 128 gigabyte, okay. Is there, oh yeah. There's a fan in there, I could see it. Nice. USB-C for power, not charging, just power, and HDMI. Let's get this thing plugged in. See what this thing's all about. One of the buttons just fell out. That's what I'm talking about here. What the hell? Okay, we're all powered up, ready to go. One receiver does work for both controllers. I've confirmed that. But yeah, it does look kind of neat. Just stupid how these buttons and everything falls out. And I can feel the fan. That's a good thing. So according to the manual, this thing is called the X10 Dual System Game Console. That does sound familiar. So okay, we're going to go with that. But packaging doesn't really tell you that's what it's called. I always find it funny. I've seen this multiple times before. Reminder. This device has no built-in game program. Users need to install by themselves, such as installing games. Copyright issued caused by the program has nothing to do with our company. We're released from liability. That's that. But then we take a gander here. We got 41,062 games included on this thing. So yeah, let's check it out real quick. So this thing, on AliExpress, like 30 bucks, not bad, but let's check out what's included. So we got a buttload of games. The background, like, what is that, Assassin's Creed type thing? Kind of looking stupid for this build, but you could change that, I'm sure. Got a lot of Atari stuff, some old school computer stuff. Let's see how big these game lists are for the stuff I'm familiar with. PC Engine, 290. Doesn't sound inflated, but there's got to be something here that's inflated. Has to be. Couple CD-ROM games. Okay. 5 games, super graphics. That's a good sign because that's all that there was for the super graphics. And looks like they got it correct. N64, 145, but no scraped artwork. Interesting. Yeah, here we go. 3,800 NES games. So you're going to have multiple regions. Instead of like, hey, Famicom and NES, they might still have Famicom, just boosting up the numbers. It's always kind of sloppy, but hacks, couple thousand. Disk system. Okay, I didn't see Famicom. Maybe it's not on here. But here we go. Let's scroll through. Super Famicom, 451, and then 1,200 Super Nintendo. So some stuff looks inflated, some stuff not so much. So far, it's not crazy sloppy. Let's see. Genesis, Mega Drive. 700 PS1 games. 100% going to be missing music. Let's find out. Yeah, I just see or hear. I mean, could you see sounds? Maybe you can. There's no music. When I see a small micro SD card, 128 gigabytes with hundreds of PS1 games, I know that they're like just bad ROMs. So that gives it minus a couple points. No music, PS1 games. Continuing on, 249 PSP games. Oh, wow. At least they got the artwork. A lot of them are going to be minis, though. There's only going to be a very select few that aren't. Tekken 6, try that out. Okay, it seems like by default it has some sort of frame skip on. But it's not playing bad. That's kind of interesting for such a cheap device. You can always redo the PS1 games, put the proper ROMs on there. You know, if that's something you care about. But this is a good sign. And then to round out the list, we got a couple Doom ports and 25 DS games. No artwork. So build-wise, I don't know how everything runs yet. It's a little sloppy, not the worst I've ever seen. Thousands upon thousands of arcade games, so there's going to be duplicates there. Let's go to some of the heavier hitters real quick. First off, I mean, just straight up, the controller's trash. This D-pad is garbage. The analog sticks, everything's garbage with this. It might be usable for some, but I mean, I would use different controllers. This is an Emulec build. You could plug in something else. The included controller's just not so much. Weird button configuration. I kind of got lost for a second, but you could redo all that. It looks like all the systems are defaulted to the incorrect aspect ratio, so everything's going to be stretched the hell out. But Wave Race Nintendo 64 is running fine. So that's a good thing. I wonder about Naomi and Dreamcast. That was like the highest it went. Like, you know, you're not getting PS2 or Wii or GameCube or anything here, not for a $30 system, but I mean, this is gonna take some tinkering, in my opinion, to make it a really nice setup, but I mean, for $30, you know, if you want one of these Soulja Boy'd up systems, it might not be a bad deal. I don't know. I mean, I could do a better job in a day myself setting up a build like this, but some people, they don't want to do that, or they can't. They just want to buy a pre-set up one. I get it, I understand, but okay, let's move on. So I just noticed in the Super Nintendo section, they do have folders here for multiple regions, but it kind of is like, well, you already have Super Famicom here, but you know, it is what it is. Let me see what a Super Nintendo game looks like running on this. It's going to run 100%, but let's find out if it's stretched out. That's my assumption. It's going to be stretched out. So a little Final Fight 3, and my assumption is correct. Everything's just, stretched out as far as the aspect ratio goes. Go in the RetroArch and change that if you want. Looks like there's some kind of smoothing on by default as well. So a little Dreamcast, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and no weird glitches or anything. Game is running full speed. We are looking good. Just this controller's bugging me. Like I hate this style D-pad, man. Oh my god. And the analog stick just feels gross, man. But this is good. Like I said, this is just crap. You could replace it. You could use something else. If it doesn't bother you for the price, like you could use something else if you want. But yeah, this is a good sign. So this little system's got a little bit of power to it. This little fan is kind of loud in this system. Like I'm really hearing it now that it's silent. I got nothing going on in here. I just loaded up a Naomi game, and it's been sitting at a black screen for like a minute and a half now. I don't know what's up with that. Incorrect. It should be able to play Naomi games if it can play Sega Dreamcast games, so might be something wrong with the ROM. So yeah, I was sitting there for a good 5 minutes on a black screen, had to unplug it, plug it back in to get it to reboot. So well, there you go. The X10 4K HD game box. I think it's a neat little system for the price anyway. If you're interested, link down below to the AliExpress listing that this came from. I'm not affiliated with these guys. They just sent me one to check out. It's neat. Not really for me, but some people might see the value in it. Got DS games. DS runs fine on here. Dreamcast runs fine. But there you go. Let me know what you think. Big ass blurry thumb butt like a Bigfoot. Bye.